Hello and welcome back for episode 32 of the NoobieDentist podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Omid Izami. It is great to be back and releasing another episode of the podcast. It has been a busy month of planning and running the first NoobieDentist Study Club event. A big shout out to Dr. Varun Garg and Dr. Brat Agrawal for putting on a fantastic lecture for this sold out event. We have received some great feedback from those who attended the NoobieDentist Study Club lecture, and we are excited for future events in 2019. Quarterly study club meetings and lectures will be held, as well as a hands-on composite course and a photography event, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. It has been really exciting to see the evolution of the NoobieDentist from an Instagram account with blurry intraoral photos to a podcast, and now to the study club. The podcast now has almost 15,000 downloads from 77 countries around the world, and honestly, I'm just overwhelmed by the support and positive encouragement I've received from all the listeners. In today's episode, I sat down with Dr. Sia Lord out of Halifax, United Kingdom, a young dentist working in private practice with a keen interest in aesthetic dentistry. I was first attracted to Dr. Sia's Instagram account due to his infectious positive energy and positive messages around health and well-being. In this podcast episode, we dive into various topics, including health and fitness, morning routines, self-improvement, and setting goals. And we finish off with a few pearls about patient communication and case presentation, which Sia really excels at. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And as always, if you have any feedback about the show, please reach out to me on Instagram at NoobieDentist. The podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and all other podcast platforms, including the website NoobieDentist.com.
Hello, and welcome to the Noobie Dentist Podcast, the safe place for newbie dentists to connect, collaborate, learn, and grow. The Noobie Dentist Podcast aims to provide high-quality and high-value content for all the newbie dentists out there. With your host, Dr. Omid Izami.
Yeah, so Instagram, it's getting bigger. Obviously, America's huge.
Yeah.
You compare like the UK game to like Appa aesthetic.
Yeah, Appa's like next level. That's like everything. Me and my buddies talk like Appa goals. It's like a catchphrase like within our group. Like
Appa goals.
Appa
Honestly,
goals. The guy private jets over to Dubai like once a month for like just like bangs and veneers, and then like, yeah, what a life.
That's all he does there. That's all he does. Veneers and crowns. That's all he does. That's all he does. But he creates a niche.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. With Appa, like specifically, like what I love about him is I respect the fact that he went from like straight from dental school into like Rosenthal. Rosenthal at the time was like one of the top aesthetic dentists like in New York or even in the States. And like just to like walk in from dental school, like get a job there and kind of get that like mentorship and like work your way up. That's pretty cool.
You know what? It's cool, but there was a saying, Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Right. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, right? A Roman emperor, and he's a philosopher as well. And he's got one book called Meditations, right? Yeah. It's full of quotes, and it's full of quotes that it's so applicable. If you were to sit down and listen and just read a couple of quotes, it really speaks to you. One of them said is, if another man has done it, then you can too, and it's not impossible, right? If another man has done it, then you can too, and it's not impossible. That has been quote of my life.
Yeah, that's a good one. For example, like with like sports, like the 4-minute mile was like a big thing for a long time. Running a mile in 4 minutes, which no one else says miles, like 1.6 kilometers or something. And like no one could do it like for like centuries. And then finally, like some American guy broke it, and all of a sudden everyone started doing it. Like everyone just started breaking the same record, even though no one had done it previously. So it's one of those things like if it's possible, if it's been done, then surely it can be like repeated.
100%, man, 100%. So I'll give you a little background story about myself.
That's how we do it. So give me the origin story, and then we'll take things from there.
So essentially, I'm, as you can tell by the name, I'm Iranian. Yeah. Okay. And are you Iranian yourself, Omid?
I am, yeah. So I was born in Iran and then immigrated to Canada when I was like 7. So
similar story. So I was born in Iran, and whereabouts in Iran were you born?
Tehran.
Yeah. Okay. I was a Tehran boy as well. I was born there, and we came to England at the age of 10. I was 10 years old at the time. Okay. We all came here in the light of, in the hopes, but that, we all came here in the hopes of better education, better life, etc., quality of life. So I didn't come from a rich background at all. I didn't come from. I'm not saying I was poor and poor. No, we were just okay. We went to rich background. We weren't swimming in cash, so to speak. We weren't struggling either. We're just in the middle. We're normal like anyone else.
Yeah.
But you know what? When I first came to England, I loved to be in a place where people would just look up to me and say, you know what, that guy did something great.
Yeah.
So that was always with me. And something inside of me, I swear to God, I had this fire inside of me. I was just, this fire always took over every single thing I did, whether it was competitiveness in sports or in school, whatever. When someone did something good, I had to do better. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Some people make all that even like this guy is like crazy about it, but I wanted to. Whatever was done, I want to do better. And when someone told me I can't do something, that got me riled up. That fire became a massive flame, and it was. So I got told before I became a dentist or got into dental school. At the time, I used to play sports, and I was 5'10". Now you know about basketball.
Yeah.
5'10".
Was that your sport? Was that your main sport, basketball?
Say again.
Was that your main sport, basketball, or what was the sport you played?
Basketball. And football, or you guys call it soccer, right?
Yeah.
So so I love sports, and basketball was my main sport. And when you talk to someone and say, "Oh, what's your main sport?" Basketball. How tall are you? 5'11". Sorry, 5'11". They're gonna look at you and be like, "Okay, were you like subs? Were you like water boy?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? And they told me I can't play it. They told me I can't play it, and I was like, all right, fine. They said you can't get far. Fine. I'll prove you wrong. So I kind of started training, did everything. I made it I paid for my city's under 16 and under 18s team. We won the championships in the UK. And same thing with football. They're like, good enough. We got into the first team, and then we won some championships in school. And then someone said to me, I wanted to be on TV at the time. I was like, I was young. I was a young kid. I was like, I want to be on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not even English. How are you going to get on TV? You're not even English.
Yeah.
Anyways. So I was quite physically athletic, and we started to get into this. I'll come back to dentistry quickly, but I started getting into dancing.
Yeah.
So I hip hop and break dance at the time.
Nice. Yeah.
And lo and behold, everyone said I can't do it, and lo and behold, I did it. And within about a year, I ended up on TV. And we did a couple of TV shows in England. We did a couple of TV shows in Germany. Nice. There's a game, FIFA. Have you heard of FIFA?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
FIFA 11 adverts. We were on the international adverts for FIFA.
Oh, no way.
So I went there, and all riled up from people saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
And then the next one came across, and they said, Sia, you can't get into a tough course. Don't try to apply for things like law, dentistry in England.
Yeah.
Come on. You've only been here since you were 10 years old. And I was like, okay, watch me. So I applied for dentistry.
Yeah.
I honestly do believe, and I read that from an early age, that Marcus Aurelius quote, I read that from an early age.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who says something is impossible, I don't believe it. And this doesn't go for me. I am just a needle. All right, I'm just a needle in a pile of needles. There's loads of needles in the world. There's loads of people in the world that achieve greatness. And so to sum it up, I didn't come from like the richest thing, but you know what? I had this one thing that every Iranian guy has, which is confidence beyond belief.
That's what we got, man. That's what we hang our hat on.
It's the confidence it's a God-given confidence that was given to us.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's relentless. It's all that persistence. When you're persistent, persistence is key. And if you are willing to fail every single day, that's when you'll find success.
Yeah.
And I'll vouch for that. I'll vouch for that for every single thing I do in my life.
That's great, man. That's why I was excited to talk to you. I mean, I've been following your Instagram page for a long time, and we're like really similar, like in terms of like, I mean, I'm not too public with my, nutrition and like working out and like sports and motivation and stuff. But when I see all that stuff you're posting, I'm like, man, this guy's like my twin brother in England, like in terms of like reading and staying up to date and like self-improvement and all that stuff. And I was the same way, man. Like when we moved to Canada growing up, like sports was a thing for me. Like I didn't really care about school that much. Like I was a pretty competitive soccer player as a goalkeeper, and that's how my parents kind of just like used to like just like pretty much like extortion, like to like you have to maintain certain grades to like keep playing soccer, and that's the only reason I would really like maintain any sort of grades or have any sort of motivation in school. So it took me a long time, and I remember like the Marcus Aurelius quote that he said. I had like a similar. It was like an Adidas campaign. It was like impossible is nothing, like growing up. And it would have been about the same time you're probably growing up too. So I had the rubber band like bracelet, and it had like impossible is nothing on it. So every time I was like some fail or something like not great, and I look down, I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So that's pretty cool. So that's where I want to kind of deviate a little bit from like how I normally do things. I want to talk to you a little bit, do a little bit of a deep dive into like health, motivation, and fitness. Because for me, I think as much as you like invest in your health, in your brain, and get your dentistry skills and stuff, if you're not healthy, if the body's not right, the motivation won't be there, the confidence won't be there, the energy won't be there to kind of get to where you want to get to, right? So talk to you a little bit about that kind of journey for you. Like as an adult, like as dental school rolls around, you're getting busier with school. As you graduate, you're obviously your whole cycle of like work-life balance is like maybe thrown off a little bit to what you're used to because you lose some of that routine that you might have in school. Have you been able to maintain like that health regimen, stay on top of like your diet, kind of get things sorted out so you have the confidence, the energy to kind of go into work and be ready to go every day?
After dental school, like I said, you're in a certain routine before when you're in school, you get up, go to school, do this, come back, and you switch off or you study a little bit, go to sleep, etc. When you started working as a dentist, when you qualify, let's just say anything, even forget dentistry, anything.
Yeah.
When you qualify for a certain thing and you start getting into it, I remember very distinctly, for the first 3 to 6 months, I was using my brain like a lot. No one was holding my hand. I was on my own. Yeah. And emotionally, I was drained. So for the first 3 months, I was in a complete state of shock. Like my body clock and system was completely thrown out.
Yeah.
But I was still determined. I was still determined to be the best that I can be. So, and rightly said, you physically need to be in the right shape. If your physical state is good, your mental state also complements it. As much as everyone says, healthy mind, healthy thinking, healthy mind, healthy life.
Yeah.
You need to have a physical to support the mental. The healthy physical being to support the mental being, and the healthy mental being. And what I found out, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but something that worked really well for me, right, to get me back into my routine was 3 things. Okay. And I preach this for every single dental student that I talk to now. I now go to the universities in the UK and I talk to them about how to get this balance right. Number 1, sleep. You need the correct amount of sleep.
Yeah.
There's a book I would recommend to all your listeners, all the people listening to your podcast and watch these videos. Why We Sleep. Why We Sleep is a book written by a neuroscientist. And
I've heard of him on the Joe Rogan podcast. He like blew my mind. Like the whole 7 hour, you need minimum 7 hours, and like how everything, your cognitive, physical functionalities like drops so far. Like you don't get 7 hours. Yeah.
100%. And that book, okay, I'm gonna release a video on it and kind of a summary and like bullet point it down for people. 1, sleep. If you ever want to know more about sleep is more than you think it is.
Yeah.
All right. Many health benefits. And the first one, everyone knows recharging, but it's recharging of the mind as well as the body, as well as physical. Second thing, all right, meditation. Now I used to think back in dental school, I was like meditation for hippies. I was like, no, I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna crush it, I'm gonna do everything.
Yeah, meditation
is important, whether it's at night or in the day. I would recommend anyone start with a 10-minute guided meditation if you don't know how to do it. YouTube it if you want to.
Yeah,
there's so many platforms.
There's good apps for that too, Headspace and stuff. Yeah.
Headspace. This dude went for a 6-month retreat in where did it go? I think for Himalayan mountain. He did a 6-month silent retreat, came back, and he made Headspace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Headspace is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right?
Great tool.
So there's loads of apps, there's loads of videos. 10 minutes a day. I do it in the morning. It's part of my morning routine now.
Yeah.
Okay. I get up in the morning, I meditate. 10 minutes before I even reach for my phone now. I used to reach for my phone to put on this little guided meditation, but not anymore. Before I reach for my phone, I get up. As soon as the alarm clock goes, I've got a 5-second rule. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the time I hit 1, I'm sat up. I sit on my balcony. This is where I record majority of my videos.
Yeah.
I sit on my balcony, fresh air, 10 minutes, close my eyes, and my primal routine, my morning routine starts.
Yeah.
Brings me to my third point, primal routine. Primal routine is something I picked up from many motivational speakers, such as
of course, big fan,
Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a phenomenal guy, and primal routine is basically you spend some 10 minutes in the morning meditating, and you concentrate on your breathing. You work on your breathing, because energy comes from oxygen as well as your carbohydrates. You can have carbohydrates. If you don't have oxygen, your mitochondria is not going to break that down into energy.
Yeah.
You need the oxygen. That's it. So the first 5 minutes, you concentrate deep in, keep in the chest, bring it out.
Yeah.
Next 5 minutes, I visualize my day to the best of possible outcomes. So I'm working 9 till 5. I've got this patient booked in. Because how do I know what I got booked in? I checked the day before.
Yeah.
I know exactly what treatments I got in. I close my eyes. I imagine me doing the treatments in the best way possible. So I live my day already once.
Yeah. I like it.
And then I go into it, living it a second time. And every day I live the day twice, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't go back in time or anything. It's not vizvisualizing.
It's like that. Yeah. There's a movie like that too. The guy actually time traveled, so he started living days twice. But
About Time. It's a movie called About Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. There's many advice that I have to people, and there's a transition. This was it. Once I got this key, it was like a lock that I unlocked with this. I give myself at least between 6.5 to 8 hours of sleep. At night. I get up at about 4:30 in the morning, because 4:30 in the morning, what is 95% of the population? What are they doing?
They're sleeping.
They're sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm part of that 5% that's up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm pursuing my goals and dreams.
Yeah. I like it. It's
and you're at peak.
Yeah, it's the whole miracle morning sort of philosophy of just utilize your day more, right?
Absolutely. Everyone says there's 24 hours in a day. No, there's more. There's more than that. If you really want it, there is more than that. You can go to sleep at a good amount of time, 10:30. You wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've got myself extra 2 hours in my day. My day is 26 hours now. Okay. Yeah. Philosophically speaking,
the math doesn't check out, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the way I can sit down for an hour and talk about this alone to say what I mean by 26 hours.
Yeah.
It's a little video actually you can look up. It's called 26 hour day.
Yeah.
It's the last hour before you sleep is not utilized well. So when you sleep, actually at that point, you add in more. Anyways.
Yeah.
So this is how I got into it.
3 things. I think that's a good. Say you come home at 5, whatever, you gym, you have dinner, you watch a bit of TV, do some work. Like from 10 to midnight, like you're not doing anything productive. You're just on the couch watching TV or something. So you might as well just go to bed at 10, wake up 2 hours earlier, and that's where I know what you mean with the 26-hour day. Like the math doesn't check out, but you essentially buy yourself maybe 2 hours of functional time, which is valuable, right?
Exactly. Math does not check out. I'm not a mathematician. That math does not check out whatsoever.
Yeah.
Logically, there's only 24 hours in one day, but I can squeeze 2 extra productive hours.
That's great. Another thing I've been like pretty interested in lately is like the book by Charles Duhigg is like Power of Habit, how to break cycles, how to get into healthier cycles. And it talks about like the feedback loop. Like if you do an activity, if you get positive feedback from it, you're more likely to like do it again. Talk to me a little bit about, say, even work or any other habits, like your diet, exercise. How have you been able to maintain things and like not slip up? That's like a big thing. Even for me, like I'm pretty good, but I mean we're not robots. I mean we're gonna have like a week where we dip and we don't go to the gym, or your diet slips up a bit. You're like, oh, okay, I'll just have that cake or something. But how's it been for you in terms of like that intrinsic motivation? One, but two is like even if the motivation is there, how do you stick to it, and how do you have that? How do you hold yourself accountable to the point where you're doing it, you're following through every time, day after day, 5:30 in the morning, I'm up, I'm doing my motivation, I'm doing my primal routines, I'm visualizing my day. How do you get that going like so routinely? Very simple. That's a very good question. It's very simple to answer. A lot of people would say, they will try to come at this and try to answer this question at different angles. Like, you know what? It's really about self-happiness. It's really about this and that. But really, I know a lot of we're all human. I'm human. Okay. Yeah. I like the fact that I can promise someone and deliver. I'm a man of my words. So meaning I utilize that. That's how I do it. A lot of the people, like, if you publicize you're going to do something, do it. Yeah. Why do you think I'm learning as much as I'm telling people on my thing about motivation, about my primal routine, about going to the gym? Mm-hmm. I'm there drinking my protein shake after a workout because I know, you know what? I'm telling these people I've just been to the gym. So I better go to the gym and sweat my back off and come there, sit on that video
with endorphins pumping around my body.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you want a short and sweet answer, the short and sweet answer is publicize it.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve? Publicize it.
Yeah. Make your goals
for example, if I was, yeah, exactly. Make your goals public. Why? Because the whole public will become your support group.
Yeah.
Your whole public will become your support group. So then at that point, I can talk to you about diets and say I'm doing this and this and that. I'm gonna have to prove it, and I will prove it.
That's why I don't post about it. Like, I post about like my podcast and the dental stuff, but my health and fitness, like it's like a personal thing. But I think you're right. Like, if you do make it public, you're accountable, and like to save face at the minimum, you're like, I gotta go. I can't.
You're accountable, exactly. And by actually publicizing it, you force yourself. You're like, actually, I don't want to be ashamed here. I don't want to have to be embarrassed and say, guys, I am a liar. I don't want to be a liar. That's the last thing I want to do. So I go and do it. So if I promise the world, I will have to deliver. Yeah. And there's another thing as well. I think it's when it comes to health, body, physical shape, even work, it's very important. Now you got to understand this. The wall of China wasn't built in one day.
Yeah.
Right. A brick was laid upon a brick, upon a brick, upon a brick. Then you got a row. Then another row was made. Then you got a wall. The wall was extended. Then you got yourself a Great Wall of China. What I'm trying to say here is a step at a time. Anyone, for example, that want to lose weight, they want to get, gain weight, to gain muscle, and let's go to dentistry now, because this is like a, so to speak, a part dental podcast. We don't want to go to health too much, but dentistry, I want to be really good at my, say, veneer preps. I want to be able to prep a tooth in the most minimal thing possible. You know what? Forget that. Let's go even broader. I want my smile design skills to be better. Mm-hmm. You need to step one. You can't go from not ever have done one. I've never lifted, doing one bicep curl on a dumbbell to become an Arnold in 6 weeks. Not gonna happen. It's just impossible. Physiologically, like dentistry, the same thing. I can't graduate and become Rosenthal and Appa after just 6 months of extracting teeth.
Yeah,
you need to be able to learn how to first master the morphology on a plastic tooth, then a clay tooth, then a normal tooth. Do it in the mouth and one tooth at a time before you got everything sorted. Then you can tackle everything. What I'm trying to say is one step at a time. So don't set yourself a goal of, I'm going to lose this much today, and I'm going to now stop eating this today. No. Reduce the amount if you're trying to lose weight. Reduce the amount of calories step by step, little by little, until you hit your goal calorie a day. It's much more obtainable. Or increase the calories if you want to gain weight. Dentistry, one step at a time, one tooth at a time. Master it before you go ahead.
Yeah. I like
don't set a big goal.
Yeah.
But if you when you realize that it hits you hard and you can't get it, it knocks your confidence down.
Yeah. I think that's the problem. There's a couple of things. With Instagram, obviously there's so many positives that come out of it. I mean, we're both pretty active on there and we get a lot of value from it. But I think one of the drawbacks of Instagram is everything is like before and after, right? So you don't see the work and process that people put into it. So you'll wake up, you're like scrolling through, you're like, okay, I can do veneers, I can do this, I can do wisdom teeth, I can do implants. But you don't see like the hours and hours that people went into courses, people are like practicing on mannequin heads, people are waxing up in their house, like on their kitchen table. And that's the thing where I think a lot of people get into trouble now is one, they get depressed because they look at like, I can't reproduce that, which is problematic. And two is like, it oversimplifies it. Like it dumbs it down to the point where everyone's like, okay, I can do that too. I can do a full mouth rehab today. Let's get in there and let's do it. But I think that lifting the lid a little bit and showing the process is pretty important. And I think that's like something that I'm interested in and I'm trying to work on and show other people that you can't just go from A to Z. You gotta walk through the steps a little bit.
Precisely. And it's a huge point to bring across. And you hit the nail on the head there. Instagram, there's two types, in my opinion. There's two worlds in Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a public eye, and then there's a dental eye for me. Okay. Public eye, pages like Appa. You don't see the preps, do you? You don't see him prepping teeth.
Yeah.
You don't see him taking impression or temporizing teeth or putting temporary veneers on. You just see before and after. Okay. Why is that? Of course, he's a genius with that. And even I started doing that because one of I'm trying to create 2 pages now. One page just for the public.
Yeah.
The non-dentists, majority of people using Instagram, they're not dentists. They just want to know what you can get to from where. So it's perfect for that. It's also important to be able to show dentists the amount of time, hours, days. People don't know that when I graduated after uni, when I was doing my normal 9 to 5 job, I used to finish at 5, go to the dental lab till about 10:30 at night. I was in a dental lab on a chair in a corner, waxing teeth out of soap bars.
Yeah.
I bought soap from Tesco over here. I used to go in there with the wax knife. I was waxing teeth.
Yeah.
People don't know that. People don't know the amount of countless hours I put in just to get the morphology right. The courses I've been on, the books that I've read 100 times, and the videos I've watched, countless hours.
Yeah.
They think, and I'm not the best. I promise you I'm nowhere near the best, but I will get there. I will put the countless number of hours of sweat and tears into it, and the blood into it to get it. I will do it.
Yeah, you gotta put in the work.
People need to realize there's not a one-day goal. You need to be able to put one step at a time in order to do it proficiently and reproduce every time.
Yeah. So how are you? What's your process for like setting goals? Are you more of like a long-term guy with like big pictures, and then you kind of figure things out along the way, or are you pretty like tight and regimented? This is where I want to get to. This is the steps that I got to do. Or are you just like one day at a time? Let me work on this week. Let me work on this week. What's your like process for setting goals for yourself?
I tried every single one of those steps and I failed at every single one. So I realized the best thing is everyone's different. Everyone's unique and individual. You got to set yourself a mixture. I've now got my long-term goal. I know exactly what I want out of life, and I've got my medium-term goals. So my long-term goals, anything from 5 years, 10 years onwards. And medium-term goals is within 5 years, and short-term goals. Short-term goals are my medium goals broken down into smaller steps. And what I do now is every night I plan the next day. I plan down almost to the hourly, okay? Not too much because I know life gets you, okay? I get that. But I plan my every day, but every day I spend a little time to work toward my next thing. So my next thing at the moment, and I'll tell you guys because I'm in the process of recording videos and things. My next step is, at the moment, I'm delivering dental photography to dentists around the UK, releasing my own series of online video courses for dental photography around dentists around the world. So that's my next step. That's my next medium step. My long step is my franchise of my own aesthetic dental practices where you provide quality. Right?
So you want a franchise?
So I step every day.
So you want a multiple location aesthetic practice?
I want a multiple location in multiple countries. I'd like to spend travel to a few countries. Why not? Just making people's the Apple model. The Apple model. Do you mean the Sia model or the Apple model?
It's not. If he's done it, it's not impossible, right?
Yeah,
so why not?
It's not impossible. It's not impossible. And he's got about 20 years experience on me. Okay, let's see. All right.
Let's get a little bit more dental for a bit. What I like to do, especially when I talk to dentists like from around the world, is obviously it's like most of the listeners are like based in the US and Canada and Australia. So talking to a UK dentist is pretty cool. Talk me through like your average week in terms of like how many patients are you seeing a day? What kind of procedures? Obviously, I know you're in more of a cosmetic sort of role at your practice, but so what's like the average patients you're seeing per day? What's the like procedures that you're doing most common? We'll nerd out a little bit more specific after that.
No problem. Yeah. So the average patients that every day I see anything between 8 patients to about 12 patients. But I'm based in a private practice. In the NHS, I know people see up to 40 patients a day.
That's crazy.
That's 40.
I can't imagine.
9 to 5. 40.
Yeah.
It's not me. I don't know how to do that. But for me, between 8 to about 12 patients a day. A majority of my day now is pretty much, it used to be everything, but I don't do endodontics anymore. I don't do root canals anymore, only simple ones because we have a specialist who does that in a practice, so I give it to them. Yeah. But majority of my time, if I'm not doing new patient consultations, when people coming in to find out what I can do for their smile, composite white fillings, just replacement of old metal fillings to white fillings, smile makeover with additive composites, just, straightening teeth with Invisalign, and then veneers. So as boring as it sounds, so cosmetic stuff, all my time, majority of my time now, 30% of my day is consultation.
Yeah.
70% of the day is doing treatments such as, again, cosmetic white fillings, replacing all metal ones, or straightening teeth with Invisalign, whitening, and then smile makeovers with veneers and non-invasive veneers like composite veneers.
Yeah. What's the breakdown of like how often are you doing like indirect versus direct veneers?
Second, sorry.
How often are you doing like indirect veneers versus like composite veneers? Like what's the ratio usually?
At the moment, there's a massive craze for direct veneers. The no prep veneers. Okay, the no drilling veneers. So there's a massive surge for it. So at the moment, 60% of my cases are direct, about 40% are indirect at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, pretty cool. And if you don't mind, like I'm pretty interested in the consultation stage because I think a lot of young dentists, like you've only been out of school for a few years as well, so a lot of people can relate to you. One is like initially, how did you get that confidence to like present these like big cases to patients? And two, like now they've sort of had some time to like refine things and hone things in a little bit. What's like your process of like patient walks in to do the diagnostics and have that interaction and a conversation with them regarding the bigger cosmetic case?
It's simple. Personal touch.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone should know this. Personal touch. Read a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a fantastic one. Everyone wants to feel great. Everyone who walks through your door wants to feel like as if they're the king. Okay? Give him that experience. I'm the same. I want to go buy a car. I want to make sure that dealer treats me as if I am about to buy the whole lot, right?
Yeah.
Even if I'm going to go for the cheapest option, I don't care. I want to be treated like a valued member, okay? So I always put personal touch into my patients all the time. I go get my patients out of my nurse does not get the patient. I don't use the intercom or anything at all. I walk all the way to my patient. I shake their hand. I make my patients day by straight away by giving them a massive smile. I compliment every single one of my patients.
Mm-hmm.
I throw in a joke. I'm quite a jokey character.
Yeah.
So people feel like they've known me for a long time, even though they've met me for a couple of minutes. And how I do that is it's not a trick or anything. It's just my personality. I'm quite friendly. I'm very jokey with my patients. Keep a respectful manner, but still. I've thrown a couple of jokes just to keep them on an uplift lift.
Yeah.
Uplift mood, sorry. And I'm doing this as I'm walking to the room. We get into the room. My nurse is trained, so she knows I got a TV on my wall. I got Spotify. So before I even talk to the dentistry, before I even ask them why they're here for, I ask them personal questions. Who's your favorite artist? If you could go to a concert tonight, this is my favorite one.
I like that one.
If you could go to a concert tonight, who would you go and see? And they're like, what do you mean, dead or alive? I'm like, dead or alive? Who would you go and see? My nurse is sat on the computer on Spotify about to search.
Yeah.
Right? And they come out with Michael Bublé or I don't know. I like some of the rock patients. I like AC/DC.
Yeah.
Before they can sentence and saying AC/DC, my nurse is AC/DC. Boom, play song plays,
Nice.
and they're like, oh wow, it's a personal touch.
Yeah.
And I keep that memory. I ask all my patients 5 questions, non-dentistry, before I start.
I like that.
Always, if you could go to a concert,
5?
that's my first one.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it the same 5 questions every time?
No. First one is, if you go to a concert, because I want to get the music in.
Yeah.
So, and next thing is, are you new to the area? Just to keep it chilled and relaxed.
Yeah.
3 things. Oh, well, if they look like they're sporty, you look like you're a sporty guy. Do you play sports much or something?
Yeah.
Or if they're not sporty, like you look like a quite intelligent guy. Do you read much?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get them to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And all these 5, you can mix and match the 5 questions, but make sure it's non-dentistry. That's the first thing I would say to you. Shake your patient's hand, look them in the eyes, and smile. Mm-hmm. Tell them a joke. Tell them a compliment if they're, if they want. You judge the patient after a while. Tell them a joke. Get them in a chair. Put these personal touches, and then get into your consultation. What brings you here? How can I help you? Mm-hmm. Not like, oh, so are you in pain? Are you just not? No. What brings you?
Yeah.
How can I help?
Yeah.
What is that I can do for you in my expertise hand? And I always say in my expertise hand, because then they realize they're not just there. Exactly. You're in good hands. What can I do for you? And another thing, a psychological thing, people who lie, I read a book about people who lie and people who tell the truth. People who lie seem to always do this with their hands. They're very closed off.
Yeah.
If you're a dentist and if you're genuine, if you really care for your patients, show it off. How? Open palms. You might feel like it's a stupid thing, but it's true.
Yeah.
When I talk to my patients, like, so what is that I can help? What is that I can help you with?
Yeah.
I open my hands. It's a gesture that I'm willing to help you with anything I can.
Yeah. That's great.
Personal touch.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's overlooked that like how nuanced these things are, like how you phrase a sentence, how you like you said body language, if your hands are like this, or like you might just feel like you're comfortable and like you're being polite, just keeping your hands kind of here. But yeah, the body language is like a huge thing. I think that's probably a good thing. I think I might look into that a little bit more with like my next little bit of reading. It might be a body language thing, just to make sure like you don't, like I'm a positive guy as well. I'm quite sociable in that sense with patients, but I just want to make sure like I'm not giving off any like contra indicating like vibes or anything like that. If my body language is closed off and I'm like trying to build rapport with them. Perfect, man. So let's we talked about a little bit about your average week. We talked about the health and fitness, which I wanted to get into. We talked about future goals a little bit as well. So is there anything else that you want to touch on before we get into the last kind of rapid fire segment of the podcast?
Well, to be honest with you, and another thing, there's one thing I'm going to add on to this thing is, now we're in a generation where people want instant gratification, as good as or as bad as it is. I think the next step in dentistry, although I don't want it to get take too much of my life away, but so to speak, because I need to live my own life as well. But nowadays, I think it's important as a dentist. Things are changing. Things are becoming more digitalized. Although you're old school dentists like not being on Instagram, not being on that, you got to kind of realize that, you know what, generations and generations, we're all evolving.
Yeah.
If we don't evolve, we'll stay behind. So the whole Instagram thing, some part of me agrees that some things shouldn't be on Instagram. You should be professionalized. But then majority of my part of my body, it tells me, and I realize that it's actually right, I'm moving forward with the world. So what I'm trying to say is, in this instant gratification, I'm now providing a service where all my patients are on my Instagram.
Yeah. All
of them have Instagram now. All of them have instant contact with me if they needed to. Yeah. Something breaks, 2 a.m, they don't have to wait till the next day. They can drop me a message instantly.
Yeah.
And fine, if I'm sleeping, they understand that. But 9:30 at night, 10 at night, I have patients saying, Sia, I was thinking about this. Can I eat this with these veneers on? They don't have to wait till about 7-8 hours later to call the practice. For me, it's one word. It's one word on Instagram. Sia, can I eat this? Of course.
Yeah.
I've just stepped ahead in front of Liz dentists. Yeah. I gave him a service other dentists are not providing.
The direct contact.
So if instant contact. Any young dentist out there that's listening to this podcast, listen to my advice. And I'm not an old guy. I'm a young guy telling you this. This is my advice. Evolve with the world and evolve in a professional manner. Give your clients the service that you would want from someone. Yeah. If you're about to go and get veneers or anything done on your teeth, how do you want to be treated? And what kind of service do you want? And do that for your patients.
That's perfect.
Success lies right there.
I like that. I think a lot of people get a lot of value from that. So thanks for dropping all that knowledge there. I agree with you. I think Instagram is big. Like I said, there's probably like some growing pains, like anything, trying to figure out the right balance of like, are we doing too much? Are we revealing too much? Or is it just right? But it's the way, like people, like you said, patients are on there. Patients are scrolling through all day. So if they have a question, if they can just reach out to their dentist and ask a quick question, it doesn't take much time out of your day, but it means a lot to them, right? So it's like the care. It's like the care call of like 30 years ago. I'm sure like there's dentists now that even like say if they take a tooth out, they'll just message their patient on Instagram, like things are good, any issues, any questions. I think that's like, because it's probably, people don't like as much, maybe phone conversations are a little bit cumbersome. So if you just like shoot your patient a message and ask them if they're okay and they get that feedback, I think that's not a bad idea either. So
100%.
Yeah. Perfect. So I got 5 quick rapid fire questions to kind of wrap things up, line things up a little bit. So what's your first favorite Instagram page to follow?
My first favorite Instagram page to follow?
Yeah.
As a dentist?
Yeah, like what's your first like their favorite page to follow?
Okay, as a dentist, Appa Aesthetics, because that guy gives me motivation.
Yeah.
As a normal human being,
Yeah.
Laugh Factory. LA Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
I love comedy. And that page gold.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I like the like Barstool Sports. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. I love it. Honestly, I love it. I love it. Any time of the day that I want to be uplifted, Laugh Factory is the page that I go to.
I'll check that one out. I don't think I've seen that one. That's good. What's your favorite football club, soccer club?
I'm a Man United fan.
Yes, man. Good man. What's your so if you could do one procedure in dentistry for the rest of your career and just that one procedure, what would it be?
Veneers.
Veneers? Nice.
Veneers.
And what procedure do you hate doing?
Endodontist.
Oh yeah, I was gonna I have a love-hate, man. Like I enjoy endo because it's so hard to do, but like it's so satisfying like when you get it, like right.
Once you get it right, woo!
it's like at this point it's like 6 out of 10 times you're like, and the other 4 times you're just like miserable, so it's not worth it.
Right?
And what's your favorite dental instrument or tool that you have in your arsenal?
My Eagle, my American Eagle composite applier. So it's called American Eagle, and it's a composite applier. It's a very thin flat plastic that's made out of gold.
Yeah. It's
very thin. You can mold it around. It's my number one. I can mold it for posterior, anterior, side embrasures, everything. Okay. It's my number one. If you guys want to know.
I'll look into that one.
Say again?
It's called American Eagle?
Yeah, it's called American Eagle. I think it's American Eagle, and it's got something 50, but I'll get back to you on the name of that.
Yeah.
But I can send you a picture of it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It is gold. Yeah. It's actually made of gold, but it's also gold in my hand. It's amazing. And
do you work with a heated composite normally, or are you just regular?
Heated, always heated.
Yeah,
always heated.
Yeah,
I don't touch.
You never go back either.
Yeah. It's honestly, once you go heated, you don't go back. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Sia Lord, man, thanks a lot. It was great chatting with you. We'll stay in touch. Hopefully, we'll do another one of these in a little bit. We'll follow up and see how things are going with you. I'll
sure, man.
Your page. I'll put your page up in the show notes as well, so people can reach out to you if they have any questions or anything like that. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Keep up the motivational work. I think, like you said, it's twofold. It's one is like obviously you're putting some content out and it's good for your page, but it's also for you to make yourself accountable. Make sure you follow through on things and stay responsible.
Exactly. This world is a two-way street, so you gotta give as well as take.
Sure, man. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and stay in touch. Good luck with everything.
Yes,
Take care.
Have a good night.
See ya.